on, holiday family? This is Granny Patty. We're talking about North America this week. So, we're going to get right on to lesson 1. It's called Greenland. Introduction. As we begin our study of North America, we are going to start in Greenland. Greenland is a fascinating nation that is transcontinental, which means extending across 2 continents in a very unique way. Most transcontinental countries have land on more than one continent. Greenland is unique because it is politically part of Europe, belonging to the Kingdom of Denmark, but geographically located on the North American tectonic plate, making it part of the North American continent. That's a little confusing. I don't know what a tectonic plate is. We'll have to look that up. Greenland is often overlooked when we think or talk about North America, and perhaps that is because it is a transcontinental in such a unique way. Or perhaps it is because it is the most sparsely populated country on the planet. It is larger in size than Mexico, but Mexico has over 2,000 times as many people. Or maybe it is because the country is known for being more than 80% covered in ice. Let's discover all the beauty that Greenland has to offer. But first, let's take an activity break. This is what they're telling us to tell you. Find Greenland on a map. If you can, find a map that shows where the North American tectonic plate lies. There's those words again. It is considered the largest island in the world. Although Australia is larger, Australia is considered a continent of its own and gets disqualified from having the title of largest island. This conveniently allows Greenland to take the prize. Yeah, it's pretty. I'm looking at the map, you guys. It's pretty big and looks really cold. Moving on. Do you know how an ice sheet is formed? Well, I'm about to tell you. Ice sheets and other ice masses are formed in the same way, with snow accumulating and partially melting over long periods of time. Slightly melted snow becomes harder and slowly changes from fluffy powder to a block of hard, round ice pellets. As more snow falls, the snow underneath continues to harden and becomes known as firn, F-I-R-N. Layers of firn build up over time, and when it is about 50 meters thick, the firn compacts together as a solid mass of ice. Glaciers begin to move under their own weight when this happens. In Greenland, there are many glaciers that flow out from the massive ice sheet. Some of these glaciers are even close enough to a town that you can get to them in an off-road vehicle from the water or even by hiking. When a glacier extends over the ocean or the coast, it is called an ice shelf. And when a chunk breaks off, it is an iceberg. So, what kind of land and animals is in Greenland? Well, let's find out. Although it is largely covered by ice, the areas around the coast are home to many forms of wildlife and unique plant life. The low population density means that much of the beauty of nature is untouched and can be appreciated in its original beauty, unmarred by humanity. This beautiful country is the perfect destination for an epic adventure. Greenland's frigid winter gives way to a brief Arctic summer each year. With this season change, the coastal regions of Greenland come alive with beautiful plant life. Flowers and herbs, mosses and meadows, even fruit bushes and small trees can be found in various locations. Greenland's national flower is called, Niviarsiak, which means young woman in Greenlandic and fireweed in English. Greenland's national flower as again, I'm going to repeat it because I wasn't sure I said it right. Niviarsiac. Well, this beautiful wildflower is found throughout Canada and much of the United States. Other common plant life includes ferns, clover, and the beautiful bluebell. You can even find tasty blueberries and crowberries growing on their low bushes throughout the short summer. Greenland is also home to many beautiful animals. In the waters along the coast, you will encounter several types of seals, such as the ringed seal, the harp seal, and the hooded seal. Walruses and polar bears are also found along the coast of Greenland, although they are far less than the seal population. In the water, there are 15 different species of whales that live in the seas around Greenland for at least part of the year. Only the beluga, the narwhal, and the bowhead whales make these cold Arctic waters their home year-round. On land, you will find herds of caribou, reindeer, and Umimak, the Greenlandic name for the musk ox, whose Greenlandic name literally means the long-bearded one. Other creatures that live here include the Arctic fox, both white and blue, the Arctic hare, and around 60 varieties of bird life from eagles to ducks to ptarmigans. Oh, that's kind of a hard word. P-T-A-R, ptarmigans. Ptarmigans. Say that 4 times fast. All right, what kind of food is in Greenland? The people of Greenland make the most of the food sources readily available to them. In an Arctic climate, there is a heavy emphasis on meat and not as many vegetables in their diet. While some people in Greenland raise meat to eat, most of the population hunts for their meat. Caribou and muskox are the most often hunted land animals. The meat from these large animals has been part of the diet of the people of Greenland for generations. Some caribou to be one of the tastiest meats on the planet. Ptarmigan and other birds are also hunted for their meat. But the people of Greenland are not limited to just land animals and birds when it comes to food. They also look to the sea for much of their calorie intake. Not only are many varieties of fish readily available, they also hunt sea mammals such as seals and even whales. It is traditional for nothing on the animal to go to waste, and they have unique ways of using every part of anything they hunt. So, tourism. Place to go visit. That's what tourism means. I do a lot of that in my travels. Although Greenland is not what most people think of when they think tourist destination, the country has many things to offer outdoor enthusiasts, vacationers. Most of Greenland is north of the Arctic Circle. Because of its location, much of Greenland experiences a phenomenon known as the midnight sun. In central Greenland, the sun does not set from the end of May until the end of July, making outdoor adventures accessible around the clock. Have you ever wanted to go hiking or sailing at midnight? Well, Greenland may be the perfect place to go during the summer. The Arctic Circle Trail is hiked by only 300 people each year, but it is known as one of the best long-distance hikes in the world. This hiking trail can be up to 124 miles and can take anywhere from 7 to 10 days to complete, depending on the route you choose and your level of fitness. If you want to hike this epic trail, it is normally done between June and August for the best weather. There is no civilization, including cell phone service, anywhere along the trail. This requires prospective hikers to carry everything they need for the trip on their backs. Okay, kiddies, there's another extension activity. Follow along on the Arctic Circle Trail as this adventurous hiker reports on his adventures in Greenland. If you were going on an adventure like that, what would you make sure to pack in your bag? Now think about it, kids. When we took our little hike up to Oak Glen and Bogart Park, remember what we had to have in our backpacks? Just think if you were going to be there for 7 to 10 days. Wow, it's a lot to pack, trust me. Okay, so what's the history and culture of Greenland? Well, the native population of Greenland originally came from northern Canada. There is evidence that at least 6 different Inuit cultures, there's another word we're going to need to look up, Inuit cultures have lived on the island throughout history. The current population of Greenland's ancestors came to the island in the 9th century AD. The Icelandic sagas tell us that the Norsemen came to Greenland in 982 AD, excuse me, with the most famous Norse settler being Eric the Red. The Norse population grew and strengthened until they appear to have vanished around 1500 AD. This sudden disappearance left many ruins that are still visible today and are a common tourist destination for those fascinated with Viking culture. Now there's a picture in your book. It says a turf home. Traditional homes in Greenland took on various forms. In the winter, the people of Greenland lived in turf huts. These low, square dwellings were made with large stones and blocks of turf and had a roof supported by driftwood beams. They were located close to the sea so that the hunters could easily access their kayaks and the seals that they hunted. If the hunters had to travel far from home, particularly in the far north of Greenland, they would construct an igloo out of large blocks of snow for a temporary shelter. Summertime saw the traditional Inuit culture of Greenland leave the winter settlements and go in search of berries to supplement their largely meat-based diet. During this gathering part of the year, they would live in tents made of seal skin strung across a driftwood frame. This allowed them to follow the food, gathering berries, fishing, and hunting reindeer or musk ox. All right, my little darlings, it's time for you to go to your notebooks. There's another activity break. Let's see what it says. Look up pictures of traditional Greenlandic homes as well as traditional kayaks and dog sleds. All of these traditional ways of life are not as common anymore, having been replaced with more modern conveniences in the last 70 years. But these were the ways that the Greenlandic people survived for thousands of years, and they show a truly ingenious culture that should be celebrated. There's also a little note here that says hands-on activity. What do you think about this? Greenland has lots of icebergs. Experiment with iceberg melt rates. Fill 1 cup with warm water, 1 with room temperature water, 1 with cold water, and 1 with cold salt water. Place 1 ice cube in each cup and observe how quickly they melt. Now make 2 cups the exact same as the one that took the longest to melt. Put 1 in the refrigerator and leave 1 on the counter. Which iceberg melts fastest? That'd be a fun little activity to do. All right, my darlings, Mom's going to take over. Remember, Granny Patty loves you. I look forward to doing this for you. So fun to be connected. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Be nice to each other. Say thank you to your parents. And God loves you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.